All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kodash, giving the honor to the apostle of this great millstone. Peace and blessings for pushing his truth with sincerity and a Bob bull. All right, to brother and apostle Kodash coming to you giving another lesson. All right, this time I'm getting into Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter. Right? If you know anything about Ecclesiastes, this is one of those wisdom for wisdom, bar for bar books, right? Like it's specific verses in there that speak on specific things, but all in all, it wraps all around, But a little history on it. Let me grab my Bible so I can have a good breakdown, right? All right, because you gotta know a little history behind these things, right? So bear with me. If I'm not mistaken, Solomon wrote Ecclesiastes, but not to get it confused with Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus is also Sirach. It is in the Apocrypha, but Ecclesiastes is in the Bible. All right. It say the narrator of Ecclesiastes is a nameless person who calls himself a teacher, identifies himself as the current king of Israel and a son of King David. But it also says, this is a different website. It says Ecclesiastes was written by King Solomon in his old age, right? So, throughout history, you got different historians getting into it, right? It's just a Google definition. I'm going to look up what Ecclesiastes mean, because a lot of those things get overlooked, but you got to look into those things they so. It's just a quick Google definition. It means this title is a Latin translation of the Greek translation of the Hebrew koheleth, meaning gatherer, but traditionally translated as teacher or preacher, right? But now that we did a little bit of history on it, I'm going to get into it. It say, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1, a good name is better than precious ointments, right? So a good name, having a good name is better than, having precious ointments. They're just an example, better than most things, right? When you have a good name, it's like, what are you worth, right? You could be a poor man, but if you got a good name, you can make things happen, right? I'm using Yahushua, for example. He did all those miracles. He was helping people out. He had a good name in Israel as far as the believers, right? But if he didn't have no good name, who was going to believe on him, right? If you somebody known to be stealing and doing shicey things all the time, you got a bad name. Nobody going to believe you or trust you. They're going to be like, oh, this nigga, here he come. What he going to do this time? And you don't want that. You want a good name. People come around like, oh, here you go. That's so-and-so. So yeah, he invited, he can come. Yeah, you want to have that type of name, right? You want to have that when you're not around people at a conversation. Oh, yeah, he a cool dude. He be chilling. It's just better to have a good name than a bad name. Anybody can tell you that. The day of death than the day of one's birth. The day of death is better because you go back to the Lord, right? You get the rest. The day of your birth, you come back to hell, suffering, your judgment. You get born into places like this, Babylon the Great, where it's continually taxation and vexation and just things that vex you all day, every day. Verse 2, it say, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. Why? In the house of mourning is truth, is learning, right? When you mourning, you growing in spirit, you working out, basically. When you literally working out physically, you're really tearing the cords from your muscles and things like that so they can be rebuilt stronger. All right, so you literally tearing down your body to rebuild it stronger. That's what mourning does. When you're in the mourning spirit, man, you're going through it, everything, you're going through hell, you're getting tore down to be rebuilt stronger. right? It's just like concrete. All right, if you lay some concrete down, right, and you let it dry up, and then 2 years later, let's say you want to redo the stairs. You guess what? You got to tear down all the stairs. You can't lay new concrete on old concrete because it won't stick. You got to tear down the old, and you got to bring in the new if you wanna redo it. That's also taking the old man off. But it say, for that is the end of all men, the house of feasting. All right, just like in the days of Noah, they were married, they were dancing, drinking of wine, and giving into marriage. Didn't see what was coming. Right? That's just like a baseball player, right? If you got the bat in your hand, you at the base, and it's time for you to swing, right? And you ain't paying attention, and you looking all at the scoreboard, looking at the fans, waving at them. You get hit with the ball, you're gonna regret it. You got to be, on point. Nothing wrong with enjoying yourself, but you got to be on point, ready, circumspect. Right? The house of feasting gonna lead is said that is the end of all men. Literally, though, they had a disease called the rich man disease. I forget what it's called, gout or something like that, where you eat so much, rich man, they would eat so much bad shit for them and all that. They get real sick, and I guess it'd be in their toe or leg or whatever. Just the feeling of somebody walking on the floor would get them pain. Verse 3, sorrow is better than laughter, for by sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. Right, when you're going through something, you getting stronger. That's what I'm explaining. When you go through something, you are getting stronger. Because if you don't go through nothing, you're not growing. You're not building. You just sitting still. That's like if you got a bank account, and let's say you got $1,000. You want it to grow, right? You don't want to just sit at 1,000 forever. Because you just limited. You just there. Verse 4, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. Right? The heart of the wise. Wise is who? The people who have wisdom. Who? People that believe in the scriptures and the Heavenly Father and his 100% doctrine. Right? Because to be honest, even when you happy here, you still sad, just because of what's going on. When you truly understand what's going on, you still got stuff going on. You still sad. You still fighting through it.